quick update kind of video on the prayer Bible situation, and also show you some other prayer books that I've been using if I haven't already. You just have to forgive the background. We are in the process of making my son's old playroom into my office. So, the prayer Bible. Still love it, but the kind of personality I have, which gets, I just make up rules for myself, kind of. I got overwhelmed using this. I would rarely get past the first few verses that I had saved for praying. So, I'm still adding prayer verses to my Bible, different subjects like breaking addictions / strongholds and things like that. But, so I got overwhelmed and I was like, I'm going to have to do something different. So, what I started doing is when I get prayer requests, I will write it down, like who needs it and what they're asking for. And then I'll go through the tabs and see kind of like what I feel led to pray for that person with those, like those needs, that subject. So, I had a church friend ask for needing to pray for discernment. So, I found some verses and I wrote them all out. And this may be, so like prayer for purpose and discernment, and then I wrote it out. And I left it in one of the spots of the verses in my Bible, but I started using this notebook to write out the date, the subject, like if I'm praying for discernment for someone, I'll write that out and then kind of go from there. That way I'm still using this regularly, but it's not so overwhelming, and I'm able to get past the verses in the front, because I always get to the verses in the front of the daily prayer or the praise and attributes of God, and I'm like, I don't have time to keep praying other stuff. So, also, I made a little card in this notebook for like kind of daily prayers. If I don't have something specific that I want to pray for, I made a list of pray for me, my family, others like close to me, community, like leaders, first responders, citizens, church leaders, schools, our country and our country leaders, the lost and addicted, homeless, elderly. And that way, if I don't have anything like super pressing, I can take the time to go through these verses and specifically pray for those things. So that's kind of how it is. So I'm not using this every day, but I do pull from it quite often, and it's just easier for me rather than like, I think it's still good to have the tabs just so that I know exactly what that subject is. Like if I want to pray for people to love God and love others, or if someone's struggling with their identity in God, so I'll go, straight to those verses, but I'm writing the prayers out in here, and it just is a little more streamlined, I guess, for me. And also it's good to be able to go back and say, that prayer's been answered or what have you. But yeah, it got a little overwhelming, and if you're struggling with your prayer Bible being overwhelming, maybe break it down to where you don't kind of make a rule for yourself to use just this every day, and write out your verses in a prayer form, so that like you'll take the verses from here. Like if somebody is struggling with anxiety, you would go through your anxiety tabs, write out a prayer in those verses in prayer form, and then just pray that for them, So I don't know if I already shared these on my channel before. But one of the things I had prayed for my husband for a long time before I got a new book was the 31 Prayers for My Husband by Jennifer Smith, an Unveiled Wife resource. I really like this one, and then I've kind of tabbed all the subjects. One day is like lead our home, patience, his job, encouragement, his worth, worry, his needs, confidence, his purpose, strength and endurance, friends, that kind of stuff. Still really love this prayer book, and if I feel like my husband needs something specific from here, I will still go to this. I do use at least one of my prayer books every day. I still have my fervent book and the tabs up here. I love this book. I love, like, if I'm struggling to find a verse, sometimes in the other books I will be like, just come back to this, and it has really good verses to go by for the subjects that she kind of covers. And then the main two books I'm using every day is by Stormy O'Martian or O'Martian, The Power of a Praying Wife and The Power of a Praying Parent. And I use these every day. So I have them bookmarked. Again, I have the tabs, kind of like what's really stuck out to me, what's important. And then I have like some of my favorite verses that I pray over my husband every day and over my son every day there. But also what I really like about this is it is by subject. So like prayer against fear, his work, my husband's work, his health, his thoughts, his mind, godly counsel, any trials. So she has her prayer, her verses written out in prayer form. So I will write this on a smaller piece of paper sometimes and stick it in my prayer Bible so that I can go back, and when I'm praying, like if somebody else says, hey, I'm struggling with, my thoughts or encouragement or whatever, I can also use that in my prayer Bible and my prayer journal type situation. So I've really enjoyed these. I found that someone at my church in a prayer group mentioned this one and said that it's really helped turn her husband's relationship. And then when I went to buy this one, I saw the Power of a Praying Parent, and I love this because it's just, I don't know, like to just come up with these prayers and to have that knowledge of the verses. And it's just really good. And it gives you a spot to like say him or her, depending on if you have a son or a daughter. And I just scratched out the hers so that I don't, I just say his and he and, But I also will white out, like it'll say my child or my child. And I just wrote his name. And I did the same thing for my husband. I white out where it says I'm praying for my husband's health or whatever. And I'll write his name in there. So these books have been really, really helpful for me this year, and I've already prayed through all the prayers once, and I will continue doing that. I have it bookmarked, so if I don't have like anything heavy on my heart that I need to pray for them specifically, I'll just read the next prayer. I'll just pray the next prayer. But like if I want to pray something specific, then I'll go to that tab and pray that for that day and just keep the bookmark where it is. So that is my updated prayer Bible, prayer journal, prayer situation. And I do pray a little bit every day. There's occasionally a time where I'll miss like a prayer day, and I'll just read the little short prayers or read out of the book, kind of quick because sometimes life just gets in the way, but I do try to carve out time every morning for my prayer time and Bible study. So anyway, if you feel overwhelmed with your prayer Bible because it was like a big, huge, trendy, viral situation, and then like I got overwhelmed and it just kind of like, I have to be able to use this. I put so much time and effort into it, So that's how I've learned to use mine. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.